Okay, hi everybody. Want to start out again with this video with hit subscribe. Go ahead and hit the bell after you hit subscribe so you can get all the updates of all my videos coming online. I will be continuing my series here on memory. This video will be about single channel memory. Now, I will also have a video about dual channel memory coming up. They are quite a bit different, but they are quite a bit the same. Single channel on a computer is really a confusing term for a lot of people. Most computers, let me open this one up, have one stick of memory. Let me take it apart, show you how it works. There's so much. That way you can have a clear look at what we actually have inside. Now, you can see there's one stick of memory in here. You can see there's two slots. Most new configurations, most new laptops, most new computers, if you have two slots, usually is one stick of memory is single channel. You add another one, you have the option to do dual channel. Now, there are options out there where you can actually opt to run both sticks as single channel. This was something that came out back when all this technology first came out about programming, scripting. Will it run dual channel? Will it be better off running single channel? There's still a lot of debate on this because it's really written on coding, programming. Programming and coding has changed over the years. Well, it should run on dual channel because that is now the best standard practice to run in that formation. Some motherboards, higher end motherboards, may still give you the option, if you only have two sticks of memory, to run it in single channel. There is no right and wrong to this answer. Dual channel will give you a better performance. Still today, after all these years, there is no true test for me to tell you if you run this in dual channel over single channel, you're going to get X amount of performance difference. Honestly, it varies so much that most people just call it standard practice. You do a computer, you want a better performing computer, okay, we'll put it in, we'll do dual channel. But there's a lot more information out there about stuff like this. There are motherboards that can take 6 or 8 pieces of stick of memory that still run single or dual channel. Some of the old boards used to have memory on one side, memory on the other. One side would be single channel. Once you started adding memory to the other side, it was dual channel. So you could actually put 4 sticks of memory in and be running single channel, one channel. You could actually put on that same motherboard 2 sticks of memory in, run dual channel. You can also put 4 sticks of memory in and run dual channel, 2 sticks per channel. this gets into a whole complicated, confusing, big time mess. So when I recommend someone's building a computer, someone's working on a computer, I just recommend them go to dual channel. And from my past video, what I recommend as a best standard practice is if you think you're going to need 8 gigs of memory and you're going dual channel, do 8 and 8. Don't do 4 and 4 for a total of 8. Because depending on what programs and how it's running and what's going on, you may run into some issues. If you're doing high-end stuff, a lot of graphics, a lot of animation, a lot of other things that may need that memory use, you want to maximize what you have. Second point that I brought up is once you make a computer, buy all your memory, it can be almost impossible to find matching memory because there's so many changes, so many upgrades, so many versions, so many manufacturers. Manufacturers have multi-speeds, multi-bus, there's a million factors that come into play when it comes to memory. DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5. Now they have, in the new video cards, the DDR6X, and, they got all kinds of crazy stuff coming out. So if you buy that computer, you buy the motherboard, you put memory in, especially the gamers out there. I know I have a video already about some of the gaming, but if you want to run dual channel, you can. You can run dual channel on 4 sticks of memory. You can run dual channel on 2 sticks of memory. The key part is the motherboard you have in your computer. The motherboard and the BIOS and the factors on that computer will determine how you can run memory. I've had some customers what I've dealt with that only wanted to run single channel. They ran 2 sticks, single channel. That's fine. I have a computer that I'm working on in another location that has 2 sticks running single channel. When the computer was refurbished and sent out, they put in some cheap memory. And when you try to put the 1 stick in the other slot to do dual channel, it crashes. It won't boot up. You have all kinds of problems trying to run dual channel. I can move that memories, both sticks, to the top 2, run single channel. The other channel, run them on the bottom 2. It'll run single channel, but when you go to dual channel, it won't run. So that's another factor to look at with memory. That's why I recommended in that video, make sure you do your homework. Make sure you check the compatibility list of that motherboard to that memory. You want to check that motherboard's compatible list. You may check out this brand, this memory stick, and they tell you it's compatible with that. As I've said before, do your homework. Do not trust what you see. If one place says this will work on there, check the manufacturer, make sure that they say this will work on there. Because this may work on there, and you may have the same issue I have where it'll run single channel and it won't run dual channel. Or you try to use 4 sticks and it won't do it. It might only accept 2. So you have a lot of issues with memory. A lot of this problems, ghosts of the machines and stuff, come from memory. So we try to stick with best practices when you deal with memory and you deal with motherboards. Because another factor is if you buy an off-the-shelf motherboard or a computer with an generic motherboard. This isn't a nice fancy gaming motherboard. This isn't a nice, good, high quality motherboard. This is something that is designed for this system by this manufacturer to go in this system. There's no guarantees on what that memory can run. On a high-end motherboard, there's more stuff built in to the motherboard so you can run different stuff. You can mix and match memory. There's videos out there. I have links to some people that have already done testing on that have shown you can do that. But, again, it's not on this kind of motherboard. Look at the quality of product they're using. If you want to go out and buy a $500 motherboard, $700 motherboard, so you can mix and match memory for whatever weird reason, feel free. But best standard practice tells you not to do that. It's always been that way. Always been that way from the old days. A lot of manufacturers are putting in 12 gigs for 2 slots, running dual channel. Okay, that's not matching. That's not even possible to do matching. There is a slight possibility you could run 12 gigs if you find the right motherboard in single channel by putting 3 memory sticks in there and one side running single channel, if that's really what you wanted to do. But seriously, why would you run 12 gigs when you can simply run 16 by buying 2 8s? Why would you buy 3 memory sticks? There is no guarantee you're going to get a better performance difference on running 3 sticks on one channel, because it's based on what you're running, what software, and how it's written that it'll run. Not to mention, let's say you have software by some weird reason that will support some weird configuration you have, and you want to run 4 sticks of memory on single channel. And next year, there's a new version of that software. That version of software may not be compatible with what you did. It may default you down. It may only use 2 sticks. It may use the 1 stick. No guarantee it's going to use all 4 sticks. This is a point I want to bring up with single channel. Single channel does not necessarily mean 1 stick of memory. That's a big factor. Next, I will be covering dual channel memory. It's basically a lot of the same principles, but I wanted to press on this factor that I know a lot of people I've talked to, when they say, oh, I got single channel memory, I got 1 memory stick. Yes, that's true. You're running single channel on 1 memory stick. You're not running single channel because of 1 memory stick. You can still run single channel on multiple memory sticks. How that benefits you is when it communicates to the channel, the 1 channel, it has 2 memory sticks to communicate to. In case this one's busy, it can communicate to this one. And then back and forth. It has the option of the 2 to store on. It may split your data between the 2, so that way it can retrieve the data faster because the 2 devices are working together, sending half the data and out on the channel. Dual channel, you have 2 channels where it can send data back and forth. It doesn't have to wait for the communication to be done on this channel before it talks. It can talk to the other one and back and forth, and it should give you a benefit. Plus, you can run 4 sticks, dual channel. So you have those 2 over there that help to talk on this channel. You have these 2 over here talking on this channel. It's a little bit beneficial. Get into gaming, get into overclocking. You usually want to use the least amount of memory sticks. Most of the time, they want 2 so you can take advantage of the dual channel. Because when you're overclocking, you're dealing with power, you're dealing with voltage, tweaking some things, it's easier. It's easier and more stable on 2 memory sticks. Just as a factor, if you need it for business, if you need to use those features, if you're curious, if you've heard the terms, that's why I'm covering it now. It's not really cover gaming. It's for business. Maybe some home users that are getting into stuff. You're hearing these terms. If you go on sites, a lot of them are focused on gaming. You want to understand what they're talking about? That's what this terming is coming in for. So you understand what these people are talking about. And you understand the context of how they're using it. So basically that's the basics on single channel. When you start your computer, enter your BIOS, go into your memory settings, it'll show you. If you have 2 sticks, it'll show you, are you running single channel, dual channel, what the 2 memory sticks are, basic information. It'll tell you. If you have a higher end motherboard, some of them will let you actually physically change that. If you want to run single channel or dual channel. Or you have 4 sticks in there, 4 slots in there, you can choose single, dual. You can split it whichever way you want. There's a lot of those configurations still out there. If you shop around, I'm sure you can still find them. If you're dealing with older computers, you're probably going to run across that. There's some that are even color coded. You know, one's white, one's black, one's blue, one's white. You know, there are different colors in there. If you run across it, you'll see it. You'll understand it because I brought it up. That's all your memory positions. Read the manuals, do your homework. It'll explain it all to you, which slot where each memory stick should go. Which one's your first one, which one's your second one. A lot of times it'll tell you your first one must be here. Your second one could either be here or here, and it'll tell you why, if you want single channel or dual channel. That's very important. If you're using this at home for business, schooling, that type of stuff, and you have 4 empty slots and you're putting together a computer, go for it. Put the 4 memory sticks in. But do the best practice the way I recommend. If you think you're going to need 8 gigs in there and you have 4 slots, you can go 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4 for 8 in each channel for 16 total. You can do that. Or you can go extreme and go 8, 8, 8, 8, and 8. That way you don't have to worry about memory. You're full, you're loaded, you know you should be good for all future growth. Wanted to point these factors out because I know there's a lot of misunderstanding. When I talk to people about it, they don't understand. They think, oh, I'm okay. I've got 16 gigs in here, running 1 stick of memory on single channel. You are okay. But for better, optimal performance and best practice, you should be running dual channel nowadays. You should have 2 memory sticks in there. If your computer has those slots, just like I mentioned with the fan, if you have the spot for it, you have the power for it, you should have it. That's the best way to describe it. That's the best practices. That's the way I've been following it for a long time. Want to thank everybody for coming by. Make sure you click the subscribe. I got to get those numbers up. And check out all the other videos I got on memory. There's a lot of them coming. There's a lot of them there. There's a lot more I've got going. Next video, dual channel. So stick around. Make sure it's coming next.